What you read here is what dribbled out of the jelly I call my brain when I asked it for my life story. Nothing more, nothing less.
From Hollywood legends to comic royalty. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest Graham Norton interviews.
You mind if I use protection? These guys all had big knives, big knives.
Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've scoured all series of The Graham Norton Show and selected the finest, funniest, and most memorable celebrity appearances.
And I had the headphones on, and I just looked at him and I said, Dare ne mokate moto. And this giant man just went completely white. His face went, because it's a Yakuza thing, which means now you're going to die.
Number 10, Judi Dench.
Do you know, I've never ever been to a club in my life. What a terrible... Yes, quite.
Judi Dench.
Sorry for me.
You lie like a rug.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
You've never been to a nightclub?
Yes, you have. I
Where?
bumped into you in heaven.
Whenever she's interviewed, Dame Judi Dench seems such a sweet and relaxed woman, and she quickly makes herself at home whenever she stops by Graham's sofa. Judi has been on the sofa a few times, but we have to highlight when she sat with Elton John and John Bishop. Her forgetfulness is what makes this a really memorable moment, as she spends most of the chat being reminded of all the things she has done.
You were there to see Cher, the singer Cher.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And then there's the University Challenge feature, which descends into all-out hilarity.
I don't even like to say the word.
Worms.
Fear of worms.
Worms.
Torture the lady.
Number 9, Greg Davies.
Tragically, this is based on your life. I mean, this is things...
Yeah, but loosely, Graham.
Fans of Greg Davies are very familiar with his "when I was a teacher" anecdotes, but this school story is one of his best. Involving beer, a curry, and his mother's underwear, Greg's tale tells of when the comic was caught in a hugely uncomfortable position.
And about break time, I felt really uncomfortable. I thought something's not right, you know? So I went to the toilet and I pulled my trousers down, and some of my mother's knickers had got mixed up in the wash she'd done, and I was wearing my mother's underwear.
Not only does Greg mistakenly wear his mother's smalls, but he's almost caught short in the toilet. And Greg's pain is doubled when he realises a student has heard way too much.
I'm going, oh God, not this as well. Oh Jesus. So I cleaned myself up and I pulled my mother's pants back up.
Number 8, Chris Pratt.
Now, it's been a while, so if I screw this up, just, you'll cut it out.
He may be a well-renowned movie star, but Chris Pratt has a few tricks up his sleeve too. Armed with a deck of cards and encouraged by Graham, the Star-Lord actor invites a very excited Will.i.am to be his volunteer.
Captivated yet?
But Chris's card trick seems to be failing fantastically, with wrong guesses mounting up and an awkward atmosphere setting in.
You can tell me now, because I wouldn't be able to take it out. Go ahead, tell me.
It's an A.
An A of...
Hearts.
A of hearts.
Sure?
Yeah.
The Ace of Hearts.
No!
But can Chris save himself in the end? You bet he can. The other guests can only gape in wonder.
Squeeze.
Number 7, Mila Kunis.
But no, you were just a little girl when you left. It was the Ukraine you were born in.
Yeah, I was born in Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Big town, huge. Have you heard of it?
Appearing on Graham Norton to promote her film Oz the Great and Powerful, Mila Kunis cuts an unassuming chat show guest and a very funny character. Yes, she's instantly recognisable as the voice of Meg from Family Guy, but she's cool with that.
The one thing that I get the most of is "Shut up, Meg" on the street.
And when Graham discusses her multilingual abilities, Kunis makes light of her other languages too.
I will talk to my dad and he'll call and be like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm great." He's like, "I miss you." And I'm like, "I miss you too. How's mommy?" He's like, "Mommy's great." But apparently to most people it sounds like...
Her self-deprecating humour makes her stories even funnier, proving that she's about as down-to-earth as an A-lister can be.
Sexiest woman alive. Star magazine.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know.
No, but why are you smelling your finger to prove it?
Number 6, Eddie Redmayne.
A lot of people don't know this, but Eddie is in fact a highly trained master magician. Now, are you a member of the Magic Circle?
No.
Bringing his trademark awkward charm to the Graham Norton show, here we see Eddie Redmayne on the promo trail for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. In the film, he plays magizoologist Newt Scamander, but is he a wizard for real? The stage is set for magic once more, only this time it's a colouring book at the centre of the trick.
Because we have here just a totally ordinary colouring book. Oh. This is totally ordinary. Oh. But Eddie can do magic with it.
Aided by Bryan Cranston and Benedict Cumberbatch, Redmayne rocks some serious showmanship to pull this off.
Will you blow on the colouring book?
I beg your pardon.
Plus, the Marvel Harry Potter crossover is something to behold.
As a kazam.
Yeah, good.
Very good. Very good.
Actually better than I did.
Number 5, Bill Murray.
I used to take this book with me to dinner. I used to take this to the sushi bar and sit down in front of the sushi chef and say, "Can we get into the back seat?"
When Bill Murray graced Graham Norton alongside Matt Damon and Hugh Bonneville to plug their movie The Monuments Men, he kicked off the night by getting everyone to down their drinks. It's possible that the tipple went straight to Bill's head though, because he spends the rest of the show in a very giggly mood.
A lot of people were focused on the jumper. A lot of people were focused on the jumper, but even more people were concerned as why were you wearing lipstick on Top Gear?
And while Murray's stories are memorable in themselves, his reactions to his co-stars are even better. Hugh's woolly jumper yarn has Murray crying with laughter.
Favorite woolly jumper in my lippy. My lippy? Lippy? What does that mean in American? I don't know.
Number 4, Benedict Cumberbatch and Chris Pine.
Chris, your fans have a name. They're called...
The Pine Nuts, yes.
The Pine Nuts.
I know them well.
Oh, a few Pine Nuts.
Yes.
And Benedict, what are your fans called?
The Cumber Collective.
Few actors can boast a devoted fan base to match either Benedict Cumberbatch or Chris Pine.
This is BBC One. You can say it if you want, but I'm not going to say it.
Well, your fans...
Cumber bitches.
Oh, God.
So, with both Hollywood heavyweights on his sofa, Graham surveys his audience for pine nuts and Cumberbitches. And he isn't disappointed. Norton finds fans who have travelled thousands of miles specifically to see either actor.
Hi, I'm from Germany.
Really? Did you come from Germany?
I took a 20-hour bus to London.
Wow!
But when Benedict starts giving out hugs, the excitement levels escalate. From Kent to Hong Kong, these guys are loved all over the world.
Japan, and you're here for Cumberbitch or Pine Nut?
Pine.
It's a Pine Nut! Pine Nut! We have a Pine Nut! You have to now. You have to. Yeah! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh!
Number 3, Seth MacFarlane.
I knew 1,000 Peter Griffins growing up in New England, and guys who would not think before they spoke, like,
no self-editing mechanism. Everything's it's coming out here with no gateway.
As Seth MacFarlane is a man of many voices, Graham wastes no time in getting this guest to run through some of our favourite characters.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, hello, fat man. Oh, Stewie, how are you?
MacFarlane delivers a little bit of Peter Griffin, a small cut of Quagmire, and some vintage Brian and Stewie, before inspiring the rest of the guests to give impressions a go. Tom Cruise's Donald Duck wasn't half bad, but MacFarlane ends with the highlight, a spoof of Liam Neeson's Taken speech, in the style of Kermit the Frog. It is shivers down the spine stuff.
If you don't let the girl go, I will track you down. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Number 2, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, and Hugh Jackman. To what's essentially an X-Men special of the Graham Norton Show, with 3 stars of the series sharing some standout stories. James, Michael and Hugh are all singing and all dancing throughout this interview, but all 3 are flummoxed when Graham turns their attention to the surreal worlds of fan art and fan fiction.
Am I wearing dungarees? Like dungarees.
James and Michael take centre stage in a series of emotive artworks before Hugh reads through some scintillating summaries. It's X-Men, only more X-rated.
But this night, he's tired. He feels a bit ridiculous in the outfit, and he wants Michael to want him as himself for once, just for tonight!
Number 1, Will Smith.
1, 2, 1, 1. You gotta stand up. You can't sit down and do it.
All right. Will Smith has had his fair share of famous interview moments, but Graham got the scoop when he chatted with Will and his son Jaden. First, the father-son duo roll through some freestyle lyrics. Then they lay down the Fresh Prince theme tune with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped and upside down. I like to take
they save the best to last, with Will inviting Alfonso Ribeiro onto the stage, aka Carlton Banks. The trio recreate the Carlton dance before Graham gets involved for a big finale. A performance unlike any other, it's guaranteed to get you smiling.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.